online real life talk show, and I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you to Excellas Chapel Real Life Talk Show, and Happy New Year to you, our viewers. With me here today, I have Pastor Dr. Bishop Richard Magongo and Mr. Johnson Kiria. And today, there's a certain gentleman who made a comment, and he said that men are very lonely. And I thought about it, and I realized this is a topic that is worth sharing with our viewers. So today, from a man's perspective, we would like to dive into that and just find out why are men lonely. My friends, why do you think men are lonely?
I will start, and thanks, Dr. Christine, for inviting us on this show. I want to start by saying that loneliness is not only affecting men, it is affecting even women. But according to research, I think it affects more of the men more than women for a number of reasons. But just before I get to those reasons, I want the viewer who is watching us to really to understand what is loneliness. Because sometimes we may say loneliness is physical, like I can be in a crowd when I'm alone. But there is also a spiritual kind of loneliness. Loneliness can be also spiritual from a spiritual angle. Where it's a spirit, if you are a Bible believer and you believe in the Bible, it's a spirit actually that attacks you and affects your emotional expression, so that you don't feel comfortable maybe going out to connect with people, interact with people, communicate with one another. So that one is also a spirit. So the reason why me personally I feel many times I feel that I'm lonely is because I lack that kind of connection, because God created us and he saw that it's not good for a man to do what? To be alone. And he created a woman, so that he takes away that loneliness. So by design, by God's design, we are meant to connect, relate to one another. But there are some barriers that prevent us from relating. Like, for example, work stress, like, for example, lack of communication. The moment there is any barrier of communication in any relationship, that is a gateway for loneliness to come into that person. And for us, men are not good at communication. Dr. Christine, for you can pick up the phone and call your friend for 30 minutes, jazzing about nothing. You don't have any topic, and you pick up and you call. But for me to get a call and pick up my phone and say, call Dr. Richard, and we talk for 40 minutes or 30 minutes.
Why is it so hard
God,
for you to talk
difficult.
Like to a man? Is it that you feel you're wasting time? Is it that you don't have words? Is it that you look at it as a ladyish thing? Why is it so hard to talk or communicate and share what you feel? Like, that's what I would really want to know.
I think the way society has made us the way society views men, that a man is supposed to be a superstar, like the superstar. When we were growing up, we were seeing all these movies. I know you have watched Rambo, you have watched all those movies where there is a Superman. So men are society views men as a Superman, that they are supposed to be independent. They are not supposed to share their struggles, and that they are supposed to have every solution. So that's how we have grown up. And you find that puts a toll on us, where we are not expressive. Even when we are going through very difficult times, we don't even seek support and counseling. That is my view. That's what I think.
Pastor, what do you think? Why are men lonely?
I'm Bishop Richard Magongo. Recently, awarded the doctorate in leadership, management, and administration. And also pastor of Excellas Chapel, Kampala. Thank you, host, for inviting me for this show. And I want to thank you for the topic. You asked the question, why are men lonely? First, I would want to say that I think that comment is subjective. I don't 100% agree, because loneliness is a factor that affects both genders. But also it's important for us to appreciate that naturally women were created to be more expressive than men.
Yeah.
Research has proved that a man has 10,000 words to speak in a day. A woman has 25,000 words to speak in a day. A very expressive man, naturally by temperament, they will speak 15,000 words. Then research also shows that women who are very, very expressive will speak 30,000 words. So by nature and design, when a man expresses themselves, they use fewer words. When you say, how are you, to a man will say, I'm fine. A woman will say, hey, I'm good, the day was good, blah, blah, blah. And they will say, how are you, in a complete sentence, which is not for a man. Because for us, we're designed to have fewer words. And in a day, when my 10,000 words are over, and actually, we don't use all the 10,000 words. When we've spoken our 5,000, we use most of that time to reflect and think. But I can also tell you that when you go to games, for example, football, cricket, and all the other indoor games, even including outdoor and indoor games, all those games are dominated by men. You'll find a sports stadium filled by men compared to women. So men have a number of activities to do and engage in to avoid the loneliness. But why people assume that men are lonely? Because we are created to be thinkers. We spend a lot of time being visionary and thinking ahead. And by nature, our focus is long term, even our sight alone. For example, you would put keys on a table like this, and if there are many other things on the table, a man will fail to locate the keys because their sight is long term. They are not seeing now, they are seeing 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from today. So when I sit down and I'm planning where will my village home be, it gives me a time to really think. And you can't think when there's too much noise.
Yeah.
You need a private place. But a woman, they think from a broader but narrow perspective. So they take in a little more detail than a man would take in. So a woman would be able to open the fridge and identify a blue band tin immediately, which a man will not be able to do, because they will look at the fridge and they will see different things, tomatoes, onions, and they will ask, where's the blue band tin? Why? Because for them, they are majorly long-sighted. So men are not lonely in a way because they have a number of activities to engage in when they want to engage. But when they are quiet, they are thinking. They are thinking. And let's take a situation at home. A woman is designed to be a multitasker.
Yeah.
She can watch TV, but she can be cooking, she can be talking to the kid, and she can be reading a book, because they are multitaskers in a way. Men are naturally designed to focus on a thing at a time. So for example, I'll watch my TV, and when the news ends, I'll read my newspaper. When my newspaper ends, I'll go and plan. So I'll do one thing at a time. While nature demands that we are multitaskers, we can do one or two things, but majorly we have a dominant thing that focuses on us. And the woman's brain is also designed to make sure it handles different things. So the theory that men are lonely is subjective. Both genders have moments when they will need to sit and reflect. But also, we don't have a thing that women have, best friends. Women will have many people they will call best friends, people they will hang out with and say anything and nothing because they're naturally expressive. For us, while we have people we confide in, but you'll rarely find a man say, "This is my best friend."
Why is it like that, Pastor?
Because men naturally confide in all their friends. So you heard of a story, a man who didn't go back home, and he realized he's going to be in trouble with the woman, the wife at home, and so the wife decided to call each of the 5 friends of the man to find out where the man is, and each of the 5 friends said, "Your husband is with me in the home. Your husband is with me in the home. Your husband is with me." All the friends defended the man. But a woman will not have that kind of nature. They will have this particular person. I know once I call Rita, I'll find out everything about Christine. You will not find that with the men. You men, we cover ourselves, we cover up ourselves, but also when we need fun, we know where to go. For the Christian men, there will be games, there will be church meetings, but those non-Christian men, you'll find them in bars, you'll find them in sports, you'll find them, so there are activities, but there's always a time when a man needs to think. And I guess that's the time people find it called loneliness. But also, like my colleague said, Johnson, that men are groomed to be supernatural. That we do not easily express what we feel in.
Yeah.
We are trained to bottom in, find a solution, and address it later.
Do you think that is a good thing, Pastor, to bottom up everything? Is that good? Despite the fact that, yes, you're wired to be supermen and what, is it a good thing?
I think it's both good and bad. In a way, it's good that as a man, when you face challenges, you don't start throwing tantrums. Why? Because there could be an organization, it could be a family, it could be children, it could be your wife, and they are all looking at what solution you're going to come up with in a critical moment. So when you show weakness, it's also possible that your entire family will be weak. That's why a thief will come into a home or a snake will manifest and the man will say, "I'm going to attack them." He will not show cowardice. So now, in that case, when a man withdraws and begins to look for solutions to address it, that's a positive side. But also, we should be able to learn that when you pick advice and express something that is affecting you with somebody else, it's not a sign of weakness also.
Yes, that's what actually I wanted to ask. There's also this what they call being vulnerable.
Yes.
Whereby someone may mistake being vulnerable to weakness. But ideally you just want to open up.
Exactly.
And find a safe place to talk. So where do we draw the line between being weak and vulnerable?
I can tell you, Christine, that when a man wants to open up to somebody, there will be someone they will open up to. There are always those confidants we call and say, "Look here, I'm going through a problem in my marriage, or I'm going through a problem with my finances, I need you to come in."
Okay.
So there will always be that particular person they can talk to. But because of some factors, this aspect of loneliness could be slightly enhanced in the men, and they could choose to handle these things on their own. Why? Because of the expressive nature that a man would rather handle the things without even sharing them to any other person. Now that can be mistaken for loneliness, but we need to understand that, and the men I think need to understand that when you confide in somebody else and open up, it's not that you're showing weakness. It is actually a sign of strength, because in a multitude of counsel you find wisdom. you find wisdom. So I think the person who said men are lonely, we needed to understand at what point they come from. But for example, if I address this from a father's perspective, a father needs to begin to have activities with their children and allow their children approach him and discuss with them anything at any point in time. Why? You're opening up more channels of communication, more areas of expression, such that even in your own family, there is a wife you can talk to, there are children who can open up to you and talk to. So if a man continues to be the Hitler and the ruler in a family, automatically the children will keep away, the wife will keep away. So men need to understand that you can create channels of communication to allow more expression. Not that you're going to become a chatterbox like a woman, but there are venting mechanisms that you can prepare
What
yourself.
are some of those venting mechanisms that men out there should employ or should have to support them? I mean, this being the superman, the independent men. What are some of those mechanisms they should bring on board to support them? Yeah.
Thank you. Very good question, Christine. And I think the men need to hear this because depending on the situation, say home situation, create activities where the family meets and talks. Have a family movie, a family night movie. Go out. When you go out, usually, there is a mood to talk. There is a mood to play. Play with the kids, any game. On Christmas, we played dodgeball with the children. And I entered there and played with, and there was too much expression. So create activities that allow family interaction. Use the dining table a moment to share ideas. Choose a TV program where all of you will be there and watch and interact and comment. Choose private moments. I've chosen my girls to I sit with one-on-one on them, and we talk about, say, their periods, and we talk about those issues. Why? Because I want them to know that you can talk to daddy as much as you can talk to mommy. Even when the man chooses to punish and discipline with reason and the proper way of disciplining, because you can beat and leave the person in their pain and you move away. But you need to call them and explain that I have warned you 3 times on this issue, but you've still repeated the same thing. So I'm going to discipline you, not because I don't love you, but because this habit needs to stop. I can give you an example of a friend of mine who they were burying their mother, and they were giving a testimony. They were giving a testimony about their mother, and he said the mother had gone away to the well, and they all went to the river to play. But one of the children was sick. So when the mother came back and realized all of them, the 4 had gone to the river, to the lake to swim, but one of them was at home, he punished all the 4. But he also pulled out the sick one and said, if you were not sick, you were also going to swim. And he also punished them, punished her. Why? To show that this is a habit we need to vaccinate. So discipline must be accompanied by proper reason. Good.
For me, I just want to add on that one as we are finishing about discipline, because when you look at a family situation, you both of us, we are working, or today is Saturday, I get back home and they are telling me, this one has done this, this one has done this, this one has done this. Mommy has not punished the children. Now they expect me, the man in the family, to punish those children. Now in the moment I punish them, they will grow up with this thinking that daddy is always punishing us. Yeah,
true.
And when they have grown up and they have their own families, they will become lonely. Every time they want to come and visit, they'll go and visit mommy because mommy treated them so well, did not punish them. And yet I'm doing it for good reason. So just like Pastor has said, that when we are disciplining these children, let's explain what we have done and tell them that the reason why I'm disciplining you is because I want you to be a good child in future. Jesus does not want these bad habits. It's important to do that. They will grow up knowing that the reason why they are beating me is because of X, Y, Z.
Wow. There is a lot coming. And as we wind up, Pastor Dr. Richard Magongo, what are your parting shots regarding this topic?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Christine, and the viewers that are watching us there. My parting shot would be that a man, for example, in a home, cannot compete with the woman's love for the children. The women love children differently. The man loves children differently. The man must be comfortable in his skin to know that by naturally children will be drawn to the man. I mean to the woman, to the mother. For us, we love children, but by natural instincts, they will not love us as much as they love the dad. So therefore, men in the families make an effort to enter the lives of your children and create more communication channels. But don't accept to be lonely, because that is a spirit that will arrest you and never know where you'll end.
Wow. JK?
I think my parting shot is that loneliness is not good for a man. Yeah, you have had increased cases of suicide, depression, anxiety, and some of them are attributed to isolation. Isolation, where someone is isolated from the rest of the crowd. But just like Doctor has said, I want to encourage everyone who is watching us and everyone who is listening to us. Let's encourage. Let's be open up more communication channels, and also opportunities to be relational. And that I like what Pastor said, that he has a date. He has a date with the kids where the one-on-one communication. That is very key, because in those conversations, if you sit with your children and you just give them a platform to listen, to go into their space and listen to them, what they are going through, it will give you an opportunity even to mentor them, to speak into their lives, to guide them, to direct them. And there, by doing so, you're opening up other channels of communication in the family. That's what I would want to end with.
Thank you so much, our viewers. Thank you, Dr. Richard Magongo. Thank you, Mr. Johnson Kiria, for accepting to be part of this show. And to our online viewers out there, we are continuing this topic next Saturday. Be mindful and watch out for these videos. This is a new year and we're coming in a different way. You wouldn't want to miss what is coming next Saturday. So please tune in, share this link. Let so many people be blessed by this information. Comment, and would like to hear from you. Thank you so much to our crew that are always recording and airing this out. Thank you, and may God richly bless you.